All right, this is our final module, professional responsibilities. This is outside of the classroom. How well of a team player are you? Are you adding value to the company? Are you growing? Do you have a growth mindset? Those things. Attendance. You are evaluated on attendance. Um, Perfect or near perfect attendance. Um, I understand that people get sick, and I'm struggle with being compassionate for people that get sick like all the time. But um, uh, when you're going to when you know if you know that you're going to be out ahead of time, if you're able to give plenty of notice, if you're constantly having to reschedule lessons or cancel lessons or have somebody make up a lesson, that does have a negative effect on the company, and it affects on our reputation. So we really try to encourage teachers uh, to push through it if they are sick. If they have a fever or like pink eye or something like that, we'll not let them be around kids, of course. But we really try to push through and teach when we're not feeling 100%. But we're shooting for 98 to 100% attendance. Language. Uh, these are things that may be obvious to most people, but are worth mentioning. When you're in a professional context, like with a parent or with a student or in staff meeting, you're speaking and writing correctly. When you write your notes, you capitalize the first letter of the sentence and use proper punctuation. Um, and that also includes if you're transcribing music, if you're not sure how to write music the proper way, we're happy to teach you. We'll make sure that you're uh, proficient at transcribing music, but just the way you speak. Um, Also, if you're planning to record your music, just make sure there's no vulgar language. Use your best discretion with that. Reliability. Um, Sometimes we give teachers separate assignments and we'll have them clock in and do work on a project. Are you being punctual with that? Are you keeping a record? Are you on time? Are you meeting your deadlines with those? Professionalism. We're always trying to increase our professionalism. Always observes appropriate boundaries. Um, we we are kind of like a family. We're like a professional family, so we all get along. We'll joke around with each other, but we have had issues in the past where people kind of take jokes too far, and so you have to have a good sense about that. Um, you don't want to cross boundaries with that and create tension, and you, you gotta you gotta use your best discretion before getting like real personal with some teachers. You just want to respect them and show them that you care about them, and um, having an even balanced conversation is also like for me is a big deal. People that talk like 90% of the conversation, I struggle with those kinds of people. Um, as long, you know, I try to strive for a 50-50 conversation. Unless I'm teaching, of course. When you're teaching, you're going to talk more than students, but it's also should be conversational. Judgment. Are you ethical, honest? Use forthright. Are you using impeccable judgment? Respects confidentiality. You're going to have um, confidentiality, like students are going to tell you personal things or parents are going to tell you personal things. There's just things you don't need to share with others. Um, if we ever have issues with the staff, not to share their problems or their issues with students and parents. That would probably be the most common scenario. Like if a teacher quits or leaves for whatever reason, to be professional in how you communicate that with parents and students. Above and beyond, proactive member of the team, always finding ways to add value to things. Leadership, we definitely want to develop and raise and respect and use leaders. Leaders are constantly or frequently contributing valuable ideas, expertise, and instills in others a desire to improve students' results. They care about other teachers' students, as well as their own. Openness, we spoke about that in Module 4, but it's here again. Actively seeking out feedback and suggestions and using them to improve performance. Tuesdays at 4:30 we have staff meetings, so that's like one of the best times to really go over those ideas. Collaboration, same deal. And then finally, growth. You're actively reaching out for new ideas and engages in action research with colleagues to figure out what works best. If you have a new game or a new software program or anything, or you've learned a new feature on Guitar Pro, and you're like, hey, Austin, I learned something cool. I started using this with my students. I want to share this at a staff meeting. I would be like 100% yes. If you know something that we don't know, please tell us, because we want to improve how we do things, and we don't want to hide our secrets from each other.